All right, game number 3 underway. It's tied up 1-1, and these are rather unfortunate spawn locations. We'll talk about this more in a moment, but spawning here in the top left corner of the map, the blue Terran player playing for E-Stars, it is Botvinnik.
In the bottom right, as the pink Zerg playing for Vega Squadron, it's Dana.
So I'm actually not going to call the Ling All-In or anything like that. This is another instance where I think a Roche Baneling attack would actually be really good. It worked out last game, and I guess heavily influenced by the building placement more than anything else, but I mean, it was scouted ahead of time, bunkers were thrown down, but between the rocks being destroyed and the, I guess just being able to walk past the 2 remaining bunkers, I mean, that went really poorly for Botvinnik for that hold, and I mean, he was prepared for it. This map, though, it's one of those ones where it really plays against you from the get-go. This wide open ramp, or sorry, not ramp, I'm just used to seeing ramp from Daedalus Point, but this wide open choke, it's really hard to fully get a wall off here in any sort of comfortable scenario. There are rocks that can be torn down as well if you put your wall too far out. I mean, there's a lot of bad things that can go wrong on the map, only in these spawn locations. It's a much different game if it's the other two.
Well, also the biggest thing is actually in favor, I suppose, of Terran right now is that these spawn locations do have a little Reaper cliff place. So
Yeah,
that's nice. They can jump up there and get a good scout. Unfortunately, a lot of Terran players aren't, past the initial Reaper scout. They're not very mindful about sending it in again. Although Botvinnik has shown that he's not, opposed to actually using a scan, which most Terran players are like, no, never. Minerals. Yeah.
3 SCVs to build a barracks, by the way. What is this, Warcraft?
Yes.
You know what I would love to see? I mean, like, and this is really reaching, but I'd love to see some blue flame on these locations one of these days.
I'm never gonna see it ever again.
I know. Oh, 4 workers on gas. But the reason that I, of course, mentioned this is just as the same way it's really hard for a Terran player to fully wall this off. It's equally hard for a Zerg player to get the creep spread out, do the triple Evo, 4 Evo, Roach Warren, whatever, wall combination to shut down Blue Flame. And really, Blue Flame Hellions, if you guys didn't see it, Ryong, during his qualifier season for the last season of WCS, had some amazing Blue Flame Hellion runs. Sadly, I don't know, sorry, I think it was season 2, actually. Either way, had some amazing Blue Flame Hellion runs, and they've definitely got a really interesting dynamic when it comes to this matchup, but they're so rarely seen because it is pretty much a big all-in out of Terran.
Yeah. Dana getting his elbows in position right now. I guess that's a high ground one right there, and I gotta imagine that Botvinnik's just gonna go scout for the Reaper there. There we go. Yeah, he's not quite at 100 gas, so I guess the drone shouldn't be taken off yet, and Botvinnik does scout that. We've had 2 cheeses in a row now. So one from Botvinnik and one from Dana. Is it Botvinnik's turn to do it again?
I don't know, man. Like, I kind of feel like Hellbats aren't really that cheesy. It's just, like I classify like a T-Rex as cheesy, right? But if you go for like Hellbats on a push like that, that's something that's at least just more like aggressive.
I don't know. I think a lot of Zerg players would disagree.
I guess, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the tears of anyone who loses, regardless. Like, anything could be cheese. But, yo, I'm telling you guys, when we hit those 500 emoticons, I had someone make up a sick cheese emoticon for us. So if we can unlock those +5, we can get some cool emoticons prepped and ready.
Okay, so this is already starting out to look like, well, whether or not it's a cheese, but something aggressive, I guess we could call it. Starport on the way. Doesn't look like it's going to be Banshees. There's no second gas. If it is, it's just, it's just one and it's without cloak. That's useful.
What, is that many? Oh, that's a Zergling. Ugh. Looks gross, man. Inside those tubes. But yeah, third hash rate should be taken out here to the north. This is a bit odd. I mean, players like Solar, again, we've been watching him constantly take things like the gold base as their third, but you're going to have to tear down those rocks to safely secure this. Either way, with the Roach Warren on the way, if this was going to be something similar to what we saw in game number 1, Dana is about 1,000,000 times better prepared for it.
I think both players are... I think Dana's going to go for an all-in. No. This should just be precautionary. It's going to help out a little bit against what Botvinnik's doing. Botvinnik isn't going for the Hellbat push. Reaper does go ahead and jump up here and try and get a good scout. He's just going for the regular drop, 6 Marines, couple Hellions, and a medevac.
Yeah.
Lings and queens can technically deal with that as long as you get good positioning. But roaches will certainly make it easier. Oh, well, Donna's maybe not going for the all-in with Roach Baneling. He is going to make a lot of roaches. 11 roaches, in fact. And no bunker for Botvinnik, and in fact, no wall-off quite yet.
It sucks because he's going for the Viking. It really sucks that there's no Banshee coming up behind this. But it's not like this becomes impossible to hold. If he scouts this, probably swaps the tech lab for this factory, gets the siege tank out, but does he see this? Okay, he does see this. Stim is not worth it if you need to get a siege tank out, because I mean that's the difference of dying or living. Not even building a Marauder behind this, and it's a third CC in the wall.
Ooh, he thinks this is precaution, like yeah, he thinks this is a safety roaches. There's only 4.
Oh, Botvinnik, you're making a big mistake here, man. Drop does get up here on the cliff ledge.
Where are the rest of their boosters? Oh yeah, they're coming across. They're actually trying to, I guess, sandwich the Hellions, which almost worked.
Botvinnik, drives the mining up the natural, but just in the third. These Hellions get wrecked by the roaches.
Oh. And they wouldn't really help out all that much against the roaches, but obviously that's free units, and these Marines getting targeted down the command center. Well,
it's not good for Botvinnik. Dives in here with some Hellions. I mean, there's nothing to really kill here at the naturals. The really sad thing.
Yeah, they're already pulled because of the Marines on the high ground.
GG.